Roz has some white lined paper and she is pointing to the bottom line on the paper. The final
Yes, it's
line.
the bottom line.
Reservation Dogs is exactly what you'd expect. A bunch of hounds, Labradors, shepherds that work in restaurants in upscale New York.
Nothing like that. Reservation Dogs was all about that catfish life.
Okay. Reservation Dogs was the reminder we all needed to buckle up before stealing the chip truck.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Fallingtower's Watch the First podcast in which we watch the first episode of a series so that you don't have to. Did I watch the wrong? Those dogs were very handsome and eloquent, honestly, especially the shepherds.
Aristocats too, Reservation Dogs.
Yeah, with us, as always, my dog, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop,
we are joined by actress, superstar, funny person, and nobody's dog, but everybody's cat, Roz Stanley.
Oh my God. Hi.
I was really hoping we'd get a hi. I was thinking about
that
earlier.
You did.
We're so lucky.
I love it when you do the hi. My name's Ryan T. Husk, and I love hi.
And dogs.
Yeah, today we're doing a review of, you guessed it, Reservation Dogs. It's on Hulu. I don't know where it is originally. I think
it's like FX on Hulu or Hulu on FX or something. One of those.
Hulu on FX, yes.
And this is the first episode entitled Fucking Res Dogs. Now, if you'd like to review a show or discuss it or laugh at it or praise it, just type WTF and the show in the comments below, because WTF stands for Watch the First.
But don't write WTF the show, because I don't think there's a show named The Show.
There is,
right?
Was there? It was like a funny show, like with David something or other. It was kind of like a The State or a Whose Line Is It Anyway? It was one of those sketch shows, right?
Oh, WTF The State for sure.
Or WTF The Show.
The State.
There was a guy, his name was David something.
Kids in the Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
WTF SNL. So that's how it goes. If you want us to watch the first episode of a series, just type WTF and whatever the series is, even if it's terrible or nobody's heard of it, or if it's old, or WTF Monday Nitro.
Ooh, wrestling.
WTF
Good knowledge.
Fridays.
Good knowledge.
But make sure to tell us where we can watch it. And we don't have cable. We just do streaming only. So
yeah, don't say channel 37. We don't know what that means. Channel 30. It's channel 37 in Des Moines. I don't know. Can you? Okay, so let's move on to my favorite part of the day already. Let's start with the best and downhill from there. It's when Michael and I, and probably Roz, like to predict what the other person felt about.
Well, we don't know if Roz likes it, but she gets to predict if she wants to.
Right, because Michael and I have known each other for quite some time, so we're pretty good about this. Roz is pretty good about this just because she's really smart. Okay, so first of all, Michael, I predict. What am I thinking? Okay, so this is Taika Waititi. This is Michael's
What are you
favorite.
thinking?
This is Michael's favorite, like, director, producer, writer guy, whatever, exactly he is. We've already reviewed, I think, 2 of his shows previously, right?
And actor. Kind of. He didn't really have anything to do with Wellington Paranormal besides the creation of the characters. Mm-hmm. And actually, in this show, I think he mostly helped to produce it, but I think he did have a hand in the writing as well. So.
Oh, so what does he even do if he's not actually like doing the things that he's supposedly doing? Anyway, okay. So this is Michael's favorite guy. So anything that Taika Waititi touches in any way, whether Taika like wrote something or looked at it or farted in its general direction, Michael's like, I love it. I love it. I love it. So Michael loved this. I'm going to say he's going to be right around the 8 to 8.5 region for this. Roz, I think, was more towards the lukewarm. She's going to be kind of a little bit more like, I don't know, it's a bunch of kids doing a bunch of stuff, whatever, no big, who cares? I don't know. You're going to give it around the 5 or 6 region.
Okay. My predicaments, I think is what I like to call this. Predicaments, because we're putting ourselves in a predicament by making these predictions. So my predicament for Ryan, my predicament for Ryan is that he begrudgingly liked this show. He started out skeptical, like anything that he thinks that I like. He's like, okay, what the heck is this?
Yeah, here we go.
Michael, what the heck is this show, Michael? Okay, I guess we'll watch it for the podcast. But I think that he, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, begrudgingly liked it and found humor in it. Roz is a
wait.
fan.
Are we talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm? You're saying that?
I'm talking about this show,
okay.
Like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
You begrudgingly liked it. Roz, though, is a fan of funny things and comedy. And so I think that she did like this as well.
Ooh.
Roz?
Ooh. So my predicamentations are that I think Michael did like it. I think Michael liked the idiosyncrasies that were in this writing and acting. And then I think Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan
liked it, but maybe you don't want to admit it. I'm trying not to use the word begrudgingly again.
Are you copying off of Michael's homework?
No,
it's a pretty solid maneuver to copy off of us.
I already thought that, but I was like, but I can't say it the same way he said it. So, but that's anyway. My thought with different wording. Yes.
You could say trepidatiously liked it.
Yeah. Whoa. Hesitantly. Okay. Trepidatiously, hesitantly, begrudgingly.
Okay. Arm-pulledly. So Michael knows what's going on because I could hear him clicking his mouse and getting ready to pull up the goodies that we need next, because everybody at home, this is your final chance. You've had some clues and hints. So go ahead and type in your predictions. Do you think I liked it? Do you think Roz liked it? Do you think Michael obviously liked it? Let us know. Type it down now.
We're going to have to see.
Michael's going to buy you some time right now because he's going to tell us what the heck this show is even about.
Reservation Dogs is a comedy series about 4 Native American teenagers growing up on a reservation in eastern Oklahoma. 1 year after, in this episode, 1 year after the death of their friend, 4 Native teens commit crimes to fund their efforts to leave their home in rural Oklahoma. Try saying that 3 times. Rural Oklahoma.
Rural, yeah. God. Rural.
All Oklahoma. Right. There's a joke there that I'm not touching. But I'll tell you guys off the air. Michael will roll his eyes and Roz will laugh. Okay. So here we go. What's even next? What we expected versus what we got. So guys, you guys are going to find out.
Expectations is what we call this section.
We sure do.
Oh my God. Copyright these words.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I was going to say it's like in German where they put all these words together to make them a long word, but it's not really that because you're like cutting out pieces and it's like they're like Frankenstein words kind of.
Expectations.
So now we're going to tell you guys what we expected versus what we got. We compare and contrast what we expected before we watched the episode with what we actually got as we watched it and once it was over. So,
and then together, that's expectations.
Hold on to your hats. Michael, before you watched this first episode of Reservation Dogs, entitled fucking Res Dogs, what did you expect?
Res Dogs. I mean, obviously, because of Taika Waititi's involvement, I expected comedy. Before I saw this first episode, I saw an interview of Taika I saw on Jimmy Kimmel, but Jimmy Kimmel was out and he was being interviewed by Sarah Silverman, who was like taking over for Jimmy Kimmel. And he was talking about this show. He was talking about how he identifies with these kids because he kind of grew up in New Zealand without a father. And he said the kind of jokey thing he said is like, we used to go around looking for kids with fathers and beat them up. Oh, you got a dad, huh?
Get him.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny. So obviously, because Taika's involved, I think I am gonna find it funny. That's what I expected.
Mm-hmm. Now, Roz, before you watched this, what did you expect, if anything?
I had no idea what to expect. I had seen the Reservation Dogs billboards around town, and I knew it was like an FX show. So I think I definitely thought it was going to be, I mean, not that there are not serious elements, but I didn't expect there to be such comedic elements to this show.
Oh, the word such in there implies that Roz laughed heartily. Okay.
We'll have to see what her getchins were.
Well, she said such comedic, not so many, but such. Like, boy, I didn't realize the level of comedy that this show reaches.
We'll have to find out.
I'll tell you what I expected. Well, when I heard the name Reservation Dogs, I saw no billboards, I saw no interviews, I knew nothing about it. But I thought it might be kind of a nod to Reservoir Dogs, but reservation made me think, okay, but it's about Native Americans. It's about a Native American reservation and whatever hijinks goes on in there. That's basically all I expected, was that it was going to be Native American related. And yeah, it was that guy Taika Waititi. So I was like, okay, so maybe it's going to be like a hybrid of serious and comedic, but that's what we expected. So Michael, I mean, it's might as well tell him it's time to tell us what you actually got.
What did I got? Is that I got a show that has a lot of comedy, but it's not typical comedy. It's not like your sitcom one-liners. It's not Seinfeld and George arguing over having a threesome with a girl and her roommate. It's more organic comedy, and it's more kind of what Roz was saying, these idiosyncratic comedy, and a really refreshing style of comedy, I thought, too.
Huh. Who'd have guessed that Michael likes this one? Roz.
Well, you'll just have to find out if I liked it. I mean, there was definitely comedy that I laughed at. So.
Okay.
Roz.
Okay.
What did you actually get? Be
what I
brutally
did
honest.
What I did got was I got a true treasure of a show and characters that I cared about and wanting to know more about them. And I got a show that, like, it didn't feel like exposition. Like they were setting everything up. You were able to know everything without it being like a paragraph, if you will. Like it just came out of the characters naturally, like it does humans. You found out their history just by them being in their presence. I got a true gem. GEM.
That's outrageous.
And the holograms. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's JEM. Okay, Roz, you don't have to kiss Michael's butt to come back on the show again.
Dude. Yeah. Oh my god.
You're definitely welcome back. Yeah.
By the way, everybody, next week we are reviewing Doom Patrol with Roz again. She's coming back every week.
Dude,
now.
what is Doom Patrol?
Well, check it out next week. So
okay.
You're not really gonna be there. Here's the key.
Sorry.
So I'll tell you what I got.
None.
All right.
First, I'll tell you what I did not get.
Okay.
I did not get a true gem of a whatever. I did not think the word idiosyncrasy or idiosyncratic. But I enjoyed it very much, especially at the beginning. I absolutely loved, especially the first 2/3 of it. I love something that takes you away to like a different world, on our planet still, but like if you feel like you're displaced in time and place into something totally different. And it was very authentic. It was not Hollywood actors. It looked like real non-Hollywood type kids with really cool. I mean, the authenticity was in the location, in the shots, in the clothing that they wore, in the fact that people looked like real people and spoke like real people. And I just fell in love with it in the first 30 seconds. Loved it, loved that. So it was a good show. It was good.
Yeah, Taika was saying that like all the actors, all the native people in this show are all played by native actors, all native writers, all native directors.
Wow.
So this is a departure for Hollywood. It's actually, these are native stories, and so that's pretty awesome.
Nice.
All right, all you Hollywoodophiles, turn away right now, because I'm going to say good. Get it away from Hollywood. You let other people have some fun,
Yeah,
let other people
sure.
tell stories and do stuff and make money, right? Let them make some damn money.
Yeah, make some money to get to California.
Okay, so fine, we all liked it. Whoop-de-doo. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it.
Confession. Yeah.
Especially if you look at the people that are watching right now, you look at the picture behind Michael and you see what we mean, or what I was saying when I say the authenticity. You look at one of the characters there with the hat on and the necklace kind of thing.
Willie Jack, the bolo tie. Yeah.
Yeah, that I thought was a boy until she showed up in a sports bra. I was like, oh shit, that boy has the stuff that goes in sports bras. I honestly, when they were introducing the characters, I was like, okay, Bear is the oldest kid, and then I put Willie Jack is a youngster. Like, I just thought it was like Bear's little brother, and then like later on I was like, oh shit, Willie Jack is a girl, is a very girl. But and then I kind of started re-looking. I'm like, what about Cheese? No, that's definitely a boy. Bear's definitely probably a boy.
Well, plus Cheese says, hi, my name's Cheese. My pronouns are he, him, and his.
Yes. Roz, did you enjoy that moment?
I did. I thought it was very, what do you call it? Up to date, if you will.
Well, that shows a lot about his character too, is that he's very progressive.
Yeah.
He's
in Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma, and like, yeah, that's his introduction to this group of meth heads. Is like, hey, how's it going? I'm Cheese. My pronouns are he, him, and his.
He also said something more about, what was it, depression, I think, later on.
Yeah.
So he's also very knowledgeable about mental health issues and things like that. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I thought maybe that's just what he thought that he should say. Like, okay, I better say my pronouns because these guys seem like they're very much into that stuff. But yeah, you're right. Because later on, when he starts talking about mental health, he's like, and he's all studied up on and well-versed on it. Mental health affects 1 out of 5 Native Americans. And they also told us that they're not, what were they not? Lakotas, right? They were not Lakota Native Americans.
They were not. No.
But then I was waiting for them to say what they were. Are they all the same tribe, or are they different? Probably different ones, but they didn't tell us. They're like, well, you're just gonna have to keep watching to find out, if at all.
Yeah. That was a good point.
I really wanted to know. That stuff is fun. All right. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
I was hoping Mike might know because he knows stuff.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So let's just go ahead and move to my favorite question of the day.
All right. I've got an answer for this one.
get it out of the way. Oh, maybe we should predict who the other person's favorite characters are.
No, let's just go into it.
Ooh.
Yeah. It sounds like you're outnumbered, Michael. From that, ooh.
Nope.
I think that would be fun.
Okay, we'll just let Roz predict, but we won't because we know that way. That's a good compromise. Roz, what do you think are our favorite characters?
Let's see. Let's see. I think Michael, I think your favorite character is Big. And then Ryan, I think your favorite character is Bear.
Big Bear.
Hmm.
Was I right?
Michael, who's your favorite character, by the way?
Man, that's a tough question to answer. But in this particular episode, I would say,
oh boy, he's already watched the second episode.
Oh, sorry.
He's on episode 5 right now. Or no, he's watched the whole thing. What are we talking about? Anyway, please.
Yeah. So my favorite character is 2 characters, Mose and Miko. The rapping little people twins. They're the best.
They are little.
Yes.
They're hilarious, and they got some pretty cool rhymes too. And they show up only twice, I think, in this first episode, but they make a big impact.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. Third time's a charm.
3 times a little person. Roz, who are your favorites?
My favorite character, I'm trying to find their name on here. Oh yeah, okay. So my absolute favorite character is Willie Jack. I think she's so she's so in the moment, so natural, and she's just being herself. She's not trying to be funny. She's just stating what she thinks in the moment. And especially once they've stolen the chip truck, she starts eating the chips. and she's so calm about it too. And in the middle of it, they're like, hey, can you help us? And she's like, no, my mom just texted me, like during the middle of the heist. And she's responding to a text from her mom then. So I just like how grounded she is. I think she brings so much to the gang.
Are they a gang? I guess everybody keeps telling them they're a gang, but they're not. They're we just hang out. We're just pals.
I think they are not declaring they are, but the Indian mafia is declaring it for them.
Well, it's tough for me to say who were my favorite characters or my favorite character, because I did like the Doublemint twins. They were funny, and they were like, what they reminded me of, and this show reminded me a lot of, was Friday, the movie Friday from the 90s. The way people just kind of like swing in and say something, they're almost like running gagged, and then they leave, and then there's these characters, and then there's like a drive-by shooting. It was very Friday-esque to me. So I did enjoy those guys. I think right now it's tough. I got too many. So I really liked Kenny the Jet Smith. No, what was his name? Kenny Smith was a basketball player for the Rockets.
The junk dealer.
Yeah, Kenny Boy. Is his name Kenny Boy?
Kenny Boy. Yeah.
He was, the way he delivered his lines was very good. And I thought I recognized the actor. That guy is something.
I know that he has been on Parks and Recreation. He played Garbage Joe.
Oh.
Cute. But also I liked Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz was cool. He felt like the most natural and genuine to me. Like he wasn't acting like a character. He just, because a lot of times you gotta be a certain kind of character. But then every once in a while, somebody just gets to be hey, I'm just a regular guy, and the hilarity will still ensue from being a regular person, So I kind of enjoyed Cheese Whiz later on. At first, I just kind of didn't even really know who he was or what he was about. But as time progressed, I was like, oh, cool. I like the guy that's not trying to be something. That's just a dude that's just like, hey, I just read stuff.
Yeah. A close second for me, I think it was like his name William Knifeman or something, the spirit who visits.
Oh yeah,
after
that was the guy I knew. I was like, okay, Mike's laughing his ass off. My nipples are always hard here. Mike is like Mike's eyes went straight down to the guy's nipples when he said that, because mine did too. He goes,
Oh, wow.
my nipples are always hard. You go, really? Oh, yeah, I
It's
guess
cold
so.
out here. My nipples are always hard. Oh no, I'm not one of those cool guys.
Now, honorable mention though for me goes to the restaurant or store clerk guy that tells
Oh, Roy?
that tells Cheesehead, he says,
Rob?
hey, whatever. He says, if you're gonna steal something, just let me know so that I can,
I can write it off the books.
Yeah, write it off. And then he's talking to the guy who lost his job, and he's like, I could give you some free gas. I mean, this guy's like a charity case, he hooks everybody up.
Yeah.
You gotta like people like that.
In Oklahoma.
Have you guys ever been to Oklahoma?
I have not. I think I've driven
I don't
through
think
it.
so.
I've been there once.
Did you eat
Ah.
catfish?
No, on the contrary, I was actually doing like a vegan
thing.
a vegan tour thing.
Oh.
Where we were trying to promote veganism in the throughout the Bible Belt of like Oklahoma and Texas and Louisiana. I don't think we converted too many people, but that was the whole point, is you go into the belly of the beast, so no, we didn't eat any catfish, but there was some Starbucks to be had.
Oh.
Starbucks can be vegan.
Mm.
So nobody liked Bear, huh?
Bear was all right. Yeah.
I didn't dislike him.
I like his, he kind of starts to become a little bit altruistic, and he's like, oh man, maybe we shouldn't be stealing stuff. Maybe we should be protecting our home and protecting our people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I like that he gave his mom the money.
Right.
Like he
Right.
put the money in her wallet without her knowing, even though they have they can already tell their relationship is tense to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
See,
His
now you
dad's
guys are
an
touching
out of
on
work Indian rapper.
now you guys are
Mhm.
forcing my hand. You guys are touching on the parts I did not like. The putting
You don't like putting money in your mom's purse?
No, the putting the money in the mom's purse, I was like, this is too obvious and done. I felt like, as Roz pointed out quite astutely, there was no exposition. They were masters at just letting it develop. You start having questions like, why is this happening? Who's that? Who's that? And eventually it all just kind of plays out very naturally. There was zero things that felt forced, except for maybe when the truck driver comes in and tells his life story about how everything happened.
Yeah.
But that was necessary, and that's how he had to do it. The camera's not gonna follow him through his life.
They think they gave him diabetes by stealing his truck.
Yeah.
Maybe if we give the truck back, his diabetes will go away.
So I thought that was too on the nose. That was the first moment where I was just like, oh God, this is too, come on, that's too, it's the bad kid with the heart of gold, or what, that nonsense. We don't need that crap. At least I didn't need it. At least it was show, don't tell. But then the other thing I didn't like about it was how he suddenly, as Mike puts it, becomes altruistic. Just like that. He just flips and says, we got to protect our homes and our protect it from what?
The NDN mafia.
The NDN mafia is after them, not the.
No, they're after the copper too. They're the NDN mafia kind of takes off
with their paintballs
where the Reservoir Dogs left off. Like the Reservoir Dogs are kind of like, okay, like they stole the truck, and they stole a bunch of cars and copper and stuff like that. But then like especially Bear, after he has his epiphany from being knocked out by paintballs, which is a little weird, but
that's great.
They call it the white man sled.
Yeah.
But maybe it was just such a traumatic experience for him that he just couldn't handle it, and he had to take a nap. But yeah, he saw William Knifeman and then William Knifeman just told him, it's like, hey, what are you guys doing? You guys are going around stealing stuff, and like, we used to like go to protect our people and take care of our people, and you're doing the opposite of that. And so I think that was a big awakening for him. And then that's why all of a sudden he changes, and Laura Dannon's having a tough time with it. She's like, but dude, this place killed Daniel. We need to get out of here. We need to get to California so it doesn't kill us. So that's her struggle with it right there. So she still wants to go out and steal shit so they can get money and move to California. But Bear's like, man, I don't know. Maybe we should just hunker down here and just, protect cars and copper from the Indian mafia.
Right. So now see, and this is, Michael, you may have more insight on this than I do, having maybe seen more than one episode.
Maybe.
But I was also, I love that kind of stuff where it's like rival gang stuff, especially because when it's also kind of a comedy, it's almost like superhero groups, like mystery men, it's like you find out what's their theme, what's their game. These guys, they all wear turtlenecks, or these guys, they talk in sports slang, or, it's fun. That kind of stuff is cool. But what I thought was, they don't need to decide, hey, we're staying here. They don't need to have a wholesale personality change. They could just say they still have the same motivation of going to California. But what if these rival gangs are preventing them from making the money? Like, they're going to go steal from this shop, but now this rival gang already stole from it. Or they're going to go do this and the rival gang already did it, or the rival gang steals from them, or stuff like that. So that way they can still have the same end goal of trying to leave, but now they're just forced to fight these guys without having some kind of, what felt like kind of a forced change, although they did it pretty well, I think. But anyway, that's what I was hoping to see personally.
To an extent, but before the paintball pop, they had, so Laura Dan says, she goes, oh, we're going to have enough money to move in 2 months. And Bear is like, you can see his face. He's like, that's too soon. So he's already starting to think maybe leaving is not the best idea.
Yeah,
and then of course at the end, they had the plan to leave, but he's like, we're not going to leave because they run us out. So I think that plays into it too, because it didn't seem too sudden to me, like his change, if you will.
Good point.
I just think it was not so much how sudden it was, but what a complete 180 turnaround. Like, you can still have the same motivation, but now you have these obstacles put in front of you. And then the story is still basically the same story where they're battling these gangs. And then along the way, throughout the entire first season or 3 seasons, they start to get used to staying there and they start to make friends, and the village starts to love them more for what they do. And then when they're faced with actually leaving, then they don't, because they like it there and they've made these changes. You know what I mean? I just felt like that change didn't have to happen over the course of an episode. It could have been a slow, subtle arc that you don't even know is happening until it has happened. But
I see, but you still liked it. So
I sure did. No, you're right. No, totally. But I liked it less.
You liked it.
I liked it less in the last third, I think. Although I loved the scene that Michael's got behind him. That was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously are familiar with Reservoir Dogs because Cheese, he says, I want to be Mr. Camouflage.
Yeah, solid line. Okay, so then on that note, Michael. See, what was your favorite scene or moment as far as humor goes? What made you laugh the most?
Definitely when William Knifeman shows up and he's talking about like, oh, are you a Sitting Bull or he's like, no, I'm not one of those cool guys. I'm just you're brave, you're average brave or something. I forget exactly what he says, but he tells a story about how they're going to go fight Custer, and then his horse hits a gopher hole and flips over and kills him. That's hilarious. And then
if his horse was a girl, he should have cussed her out.
All right. But then his nipples are always hard because it's cold out, and so that whole scene to me was hilarious.
Roz,
what made you laugh the most?
I really enjoyed it when they were in the front yard selling the chips and the different people that came by. And the one girl, they were like, tell your friends. And she was like, I don't have any. They're like, get some. And then the other guy was like, I've got friends. I'll let them know. They're like, no, you don't. You don't have friends. I really like that.
Yeah, that was your girl Willie Jack that was clowning those guys.
Yes, it was.
That's when you fell in love, right?
Loved it.
I want to point out, by the way, what at the very beginning, when they played the Stooges song, I Want to Be Your Dog, that's why I fell in love right there. I was like, oh my God, what a blast from the past. And it's just, it really set the mood, and I really liked.
And a great mix of music throughout too.
Yes,
it's classic rock like the Stooges, and then you have some pretty good hip hop. There's some Wu-Tang, so some older hip hop, and yeah, a really good mix of music.
I don't remember what the last song was, but there was a song at the end, and I forgot what it was. But when he says, "Can I be Mr. Camouflage?" and dude, and then it shows like the cop. Those cops, okay, here's a major problem I had. Those cops stole our idea from the contest one, Fallingtower's like third or fourth short film that we ever did. We had a scene at the very end where Darth, the lovable loser, gets kicked in the nuts and gets ditched by his friends. And then the music's playing. And he's like, well, I guess I'll just go home. And he goes to his door, and he reaches for the door handle, and it's locked. And right when that happens, the music stops. Exact same effect as what the police officer did. The music was playing. He grabs it. As soon as he sees that it's locked, the music stops, and there's the funny little pathetic guy joke. And I was like, how dare you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they saw that. Yeah, they must have seen that video that was up on YouTube before it was taken down.
2008.
Something.
I think it was 2008. Yeah. So we got them beat by a decade or more. Anyway.
Well, don't they say, oh God, not copying. I'm going to say copying is a form of flattery, but what
homage.
Is it? Mimicking? Imitating is a form of
flattery. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
There we go. Not copying. Wow.
Okay. So they love us, and it is a solid joke, as proved in both the contest and the Reservation Dogs. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, since I can't think of like a funniest moment for me,
Ryan, you have to.
But then I'll think of it as we discuss just your favorite moment in general.
But we've been talking about it, so you should have been thinking about it while we were answering our questions.
But
come on now.
But then I'll just say any old thing, and I need this to be honest. I need this to be accurate as to the moment that made me laugh the hardest. So
okay.
So I just need a little bit more time to really look through my notes and see which one makes me chuckle the most. While Roz tells us just overall, not necessarily humor, but what was there a favorite moment for you, or was it the humor?
One of the humor was one of my favorite parts of it. However, I really do like, and I don't know, I guess it's a trope or something, is those moments that Bear has, like with the spirit after the paintball thing, with the truck driver at the gas station, and seeing Daniel, those moments where he's taken out of reality and he learns something, or he has this conflict he's dealing with, because they do it in a few other shows like The Flight Attendant and some other ones where they're starting to pull the main character out and have them come to this place of like dealing with stuff. And I feel like it's similar to, it's not the same thing, but it's like with The Office, where it's like we talk to the camera again to tell how we feel about stuff. But I feel like it's a different type of trope. And that's what I loved about the whole show, because you get to see more that way, I feel like, about that main character. Is that why you liked it, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's almost word for word in my notes. Michael, do you have a favorite moment that you can narrow down to a few?
Yeah, I mean, they're all my favorite moments, every single moment. But one moment that I really liked, and you know, just to give Roz a little more cred, is that that moment when Big comes up when they're selling the chips, and he's like,
Mr.
"Hey, you guys know about anything about stolen truck full of chips?" And he's like telling him like all the things that have been stolen, and it's like flashes back to a montage of them stealing all this, like stealing cars, stealing copper, stealing weed gummies from an old lady. Imagine that, stealing from an old lady, and they're like taking weed gummies, and Bear's like, oh, he's like freaking out, and then Laura Down's like, I don't feel anything. So that whole montage of flashbacks of them being bad was pretty fun.
That was actually my favorite moment too, and I really needed to point out Mr. Big, by the way, because that guy, WTF Sex in the City, that guy, it was also a favorite character. I feel like all my favorite characters were like not necessarily the main four, because they could really use character actors and make characters from the secondary and tertiary characters. But I really liked him, especially because at the end he's like, so is your mama home? So he's being extra nice because he's trying to get with his mama.
Yeah.
I tell her I said hi, which was really a funny time. And I loved the montage. But yeah, I really liked Big a lot. Funniest moment, I feel like, all right, I ain't no flamingo. That's funny. When he's saying if diabetes, then I might lose my leg. They're talking about losing a foot. He says, I ain't no flamingo. That's funny, right? He doesn't know that flamingos aren't actually missing a leg or a foot. But that's the real humor.
Hilarious.
Hoka hey.
Yeah.
And they call each other bitch.
Hey, bitch.
And Willie Nelson.
Hey, bitch.
Willie Nelson girl throws the word fuck around too, like quite a bit. She's like, go find some friends. Fuck. No, you don't. Fuck. That was funny.
And shit. She says shit a lot too.
That was still before I knew it was a boy though, or a girl. I still thought it was a boy. I was like, man, this boy's got a little foul tongue on him.
And catfish is life.
Yeah.
Catfish is life.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
So
show.
if we each spend $2 on catfish.
Oh, I thought there was more.
It's a $6 total.
She's just talking. She's like going through the money that they're saving for California. And then, they want to spend a little bit. They want to go eat some catfish because catfish is life.
Mm. Indeed.
Yeah.
Have you ever had catfish, Roz?
No, I've never had catfish before. Ever.
Wow.
What about you, Michael?
Get some. It's pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
So you
Pretty
have
good
had
fish.
it. Okay.
I have had
From
it.
Oklahoma?
I have not had it from Oklahoma.
Okay.
Do they? I guess is catfish in a lake? I think they're like freshwater, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lake.
so they're allowed to have that in Oklahoma. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And flaming flamers.
Yeah, that's what the chips were.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of flaming flamers, Roz, let's talk about you for a moment here, because it's time to shift.
Oh my
gears.
God. Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Okay. So rumor has it that you are a contributing writer in arts and crafts to the New York Melrose family blog. I had no idea. Can you tell us a bit about this in your own words?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
So the NOI Melrose family blog, it's like this family mommy blog, if you will. Started by Jenny Anderson. And so she started it, I think, a few years ago, and it's grown so much that they have contributing writers now. And so I do contributing articles for their arts and crafts. And the one that I linked below is how to make balloon animals, because that's one of my specialties. Yeah. So, and then I've also done, we have like Father's Day crafts. I just did a tissue paper craft for them, and they just keep going and going each week. So check it out. They also have like recipes, other DIY stuff, all types of family mommy stuff like that, basically. So yeah, check out some of my articles.
Okay, there was a lot there. So the tissue crafts, that is pre-usage, right?
What does pre-usage mean?
Actually, it means tissue paper.
Yeah, but like you haven't, it's not like
paper.
used tissue. Okay.
It can be.
It's not like Kleenex. It's not like Kleenex tissue. It's like
right,
like tissue paper for crafting.
Okay.
The pretty paper that you put in like gift bags and stuff, not the snot ball rag. Got it.
Yeah. That's my own fault. Okay. And
See,
what kind of...
I'm married to a woman, so I know these kinds of things.
There we go.
Well, I feel like I saw that in crafts way back in the day. That was like a thing that, but look, Roz, what I really want to ask you though was, do you actually like do performances with balloon animals? Like, do you go to like parties and go like, hey, little boy, would you like a lion? Or how about a snake? Or, whatever.
Yeah. I've been doing that for like 5 years now.
No way.
So I do like, usually it says a princess or a clown or a character. Usually it says a character. And it's usually kids events or picnics or festivals and stuff like that. So I do it like professionally.
That is so cool. If you
She's
went
a professional balloonist.
If you went to the Reservation
go,
Dogs,
pop, pop.
if you went to the Reservation Dogs things, what would you make them as balloon animals?
Ooh, I'd make them a motorcycle. I think that would fit in. Oh, then actually, no, Mose and Miko could do motorcycles instead of bikes. So yeah.
They would like that, I think.
Yeah. That's where it's at. Balloon animals.
Girl, chill. Is the show of your new is the name of your new show on Amazon Prime for the month of September? Is that right?
Right. So for the month of September, Girl Chill is on Amazon Prime. After that, it'll be elsewhere, and I can let you guys know when we get there.
We don't know where it's going to be after that.
We do, but we can't say. So there's 5 episodes there to the first season, and they're on Amazon Prime right now. So check them out while you can. It's also making like the festival circuit as well.
Michael, how are we going to help people to find Girl Chill, by the way?
Well, I think that we can at least put a link in the description below.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
We sure can.
Yeah. I think that's something that both of us can do together.
Yeah. We hold hands while we push the button.
Yeah.
Together.
While you type. No, you put your hands on top of each other, so it's like double finger. There you go. Yes. There we go.
I hold command and he holds C, and then I hold command and he holds V, and then we're done.
Okay. There you go. I was thinking like this, where you both type like with the same finger.
Like Ghost.
Isn't that its own little art?
Scene.
Like figuring out, tell me which finger to move. See if I can do it.
Your middle finger.
That's the easiest one. I guess
you did it.
Eye coordination.
What about your right hand index finger?
There we go.
Oh, I thought you moved both. Okay. Anyway.
No, it's just the right one. But it's it's similar to that like thing where you're like, now move this one, move that one, but you couldn't do it because you were looking at it. You know how you're looking at it differently, but you couldn't move that because people would point and you couldn't move that finger. Even if there's a way that like you trick your hands and do stuff like that. We did it in elementary school on the playground.
To all the 993,000 subscribers of Fallingtower, I apologize for the last 30 seconds.
Someone's got to know what I'm talking about, where you either put them like this or you do this, or it's where you do this. And then they point to the finger and you're
that one.
See,
okay,
I mean, we don't know. And then bring them in. And then they point and you have to, and it's hard sometimes because your brain thinks it's your right hand, but your right hand's on the left, and it's like it's a brain thing. I don't know why we're talking about this, but I think
everything a brain thing. I'll tell you why we're talking about it is because I apologize to everybody, and then you double down on it. You're like, well, no, you're not out of this yet.
No, it's because my brain was like, you need to figure out what you actually are talking about before you stop talking, and so that's what it was.
For the record, I didn't know what you were talking about. I was just trying to be a little mean and watch you squirm. But yeah, I mean,
thanks for letting me struggle.
Mike got it too. But we're running low on time. So everybody check out Girl Chill in the link below. Follow Roz. We're going to give you all of her goodies down below for you to check out. Check out her goodies.
Oh my.
And other than that, everybody, it's time to move forward to everybody's favorite part of the show, the karate chop time. The bottom line. It's the terrible twos. Some people call it deuce stuff. There we go.
So it's the bottom line.
That is
See?
very
Almost.
good.
There we
For
go.
those of you just listening in, Roz has some white lined paper and she is pointing to the bottom line on the paper. The final
Yes, it's
line.
the bottom line.
All right. So here we go. Final two questions. Question number one, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. That is your name, right, Roz? That was the song Roz wrote. How does it go again?
Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. That is your name. That is your name. And repeat. Yes.
Forever.
Yeah.
Michael, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this first episode of Reservation Dogs entitled Fucking Res Dogs?
And Res Dogs. I'm just going to go ahead and just give this one a straight 9.
Oh, easy.
Straight up now 9. If you really want to tell me,
Yeah.
then 9 it up.
Forever. Oh.
Roz, Yvette Stanley.
Mhm.
What would you give this on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would give this an 8.75. Yes.
That is quite a number.
Mm-hmm.
Good number. Good job. We're definitely having you back.
Boy, this is tough for me. I wanted to give it around an 8.5. Towards the end, though, I didn't care too much for the ending. I thought it was a little softer than I would have liked. So I guess I'm still going to give it pretty high, 8.3. 8.3, very authentic.
Okay.
Very beautiful. Really fell in love with it right away. The music was great. The shots were great. The characters were great. The writing was solid. Yeah. 8.3, and it should be higher, but I'm sticking with 8.3. No, you know what? No, I already wrote down 8.5. I'm sticking with 8. That's what it was going to be. I don't want to. I don't want to hit delete
There we
and
go.
type in again. 8.5 final answer. So the three of us average out to
We
an
did it.
8.75. That's very good.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry about my indecisiveness. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. Here's the shocker of the day. For the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of Reservation Dogs. But now that the podcast is over and you're free to move about the internet, would you, of your own volition, watch the second episode?
It's always hard for me to get into a show if my wife doesn't like it. Fortunately for me, she also loves this show. So we have seen every episode that is aired. Unfortunately, also, there's only 8 episodes in the first season.
How many have aired so
far? Well, by the time this airs, probably all 8.
Okay, well, how many have you seen?
6. We've seen 6. But they are already working on season 2 as well.
Oh, cool.
So
Mhm.
yeah, that was already renewed and already working on it. So it's great. It continues to be good, and I think even get a little bit better. So the answer is yes, I would watch the second, and at least up to episode 6.
Okay.
Because I have.
Roz, would you watch the second episode of Your Own Volition?
I might have already watched the second episode of my own. And yes, I will continue to keep watching the rest of the first season.
She's like, dang, this is good. I got to watch the second one.
Yes, I did.
Boy, oh boy. I too have watched the first 4. Just kidding. I only watched 1 episode because I boy, oh boy. Honestly, I don't think I would watch the second episode. I feel like I really enjoyed what it was. It felt really good. And it made me happy, but I don't think there was anything that actually made me want to watch a second episode. Honestly, I feel like it deserves it. I feel like I would suggest that other people watch the second episode, or that they check. Sorry, Roz, but
so you don't want to meet Bear's dad and know what that situation is?
no, that didn't even factor in. Honestly, if I were basing it off what Michael said, I would have just said, you know what, I will watch it, because if Mike says that it's still going to stay just as good and maybe even better, then I will. But I have to stick with what my impression was based on just this first episode alone. Just based on this first episode, I enjoyed it a lot. It's like chocolate cake. I enjoyed it a lot, but I don't want to have it for breakfast tomorrow. I had it for dessert last night, but I'm not going to have it. It was cool for what it was. So
Ryan is what we tend to call a curmudgeon. And he hates to like things. He really hates it. He hates it when he likes something.
Wow. Yeah.
I love liking stuff.
Why do you hate it so much?
Oh, I was so relieved when it was good. I was like, oh, this is so nice. I'm enjoying it so much. But the question isn't, did you enjoy it? Would you recommend it to people? The question is, would you watch the second of your own volition based on the first one?
But if you enjoyed it, why wouldn't you want to enjoy more of it?
Like I said, it's like if I enjoyed chocolate cake for lunch, I wouldn't necessarily want it for dinner too.
Yeah,
but you'll have it for lunch.
What about lunch the next day?
Maybe.
Oh.
I'm not saying I'm proud of my answer. I'm just saying that's what my honest answer was that I didn't feel the need to watch anymore, if that makes sense.
Like, these episodes come out once a week. So even if you have chocolate cake for lunch this week, then you can have chocolate cake for lunch again next week. And then it's not like it's not even like you're having it every day. It's just once a week. And only 8 slices this first season.
I just don't feel the need to like I want to change right now just for you guys. But
I know that's what we're trying to do.
I know, but then I'm like, but I actually don't really have any interest in watching the next one. Like I loved it for what it was, but I don't have any interest in watching the next one. So I'm very much on the fence about it. Yeah, very much. 8.5. Okay. 8.5. I wonder what our friend Josh Sussman would have to say about that. If you rate something an 8.5, by definition, you would watch the next one.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that logic.
We're all out of time, everybody. We do have to run. Please, if you want us to review a show and you want Michael to bully me, then feel free to make that suggestion in the comments below. Say WTF, who's the boss? WTF, growing pains? WTF, the Wonder Years? And we will review those shows. Not probably.
Well, make sure to tell us where to stream them too, because we've had some suggestions and we just can't find them.
Yeah,
we can't find them. It's not like we're going to go order DVDs to review a show. We need to stream these shows.
Right. Thank you for always reminding us of that. And please make sure to give this video a like. Please subscribe and tell your friends and share it around and comment below. That helps. That makes us feel good. Roz,
below also, because the live chat goes away. It needs to be below so that we can remember it and see it later.
And that's also true.
Forever
Roz,
on the internet.
Thanks for joining us, Roz. You were a lot of fun. You were really great.
Thank you.
I really like that you liked this show.
I liked that you liked it too, Michael. What about you, Ryan?
I liked it too.
Ryan hates that he liked it. Okay.
All right, everybody. So what I'm trying to say is this podcast was just barely enough to get me to switch to a yes, I would watch the second episode.
Wow. This podcast was maybe Ryan doesn't hate to like things.
This podcast was just the thing to get me to go try catfish.
Yum.
Nice. All right, here we go. Oh wait, you can't. Oh well. I was going to do something, but now I won't because we can't.
Nice.
Okay.
So what we're trying to say is always remember what Mr. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg likes to say.
Don't forget to register to be an organ donor, if you can see that. It says donate life. And don't forget to watch the first of things. The end.